often start to see the NRG train get rolling. And I think crew need to approach this first map with a level of disruption. Trying to get Kesnet into really aggressive positions and see if he can out-duel his opponent. Though was so determined to make an individual play. Davies is got a great span through the smoke here, but look at how Artis is. Oh, we don't quite catch it in the replay there. But yeah, Artis' movement there at the default box just played the rest of, just finding his way through all of that utility that Victor had guarding the flank, using his cloudburst to get over, up, and around it. And crew completely collapsed. Victor too. So NRG were trying to mix things up. Here's that reflank from Victor that you see. Able to get in behind, pick off Davies.
One enemy remaining.
Very nicely dealt with. Neutralized the breach ult, neutralized the lockdown.
Yeah.
It's really solid performance from NRG. They've actually put themselves in such a hole that they need to be stomping these matches.
Yeah.
And they haven't demonstrated that quality on any of their maps apart from Haven recently. So it's going to be a challenge in the series. Post crashes up there to try and deal with the flank, and this is what's happening on the rest of the map. Victor goes for a garage reflank and is somewhat fortunate that Davies decides to only get half. By flanking, by playing aggressive on defense and having flank retake setups. And since then, they've lost 4 in a row. 2 gun rounds and 2 eco rounds.
Post plans for them.
30 seconds
Yeah.
left.
There's reflanks through garage, reflanks through mid.
Yeah, he's given a lot of freedom in this composition specifically. He's not an initiator that needs to set up Artis. Artis has to entry, and Som tends to play tighter with the pack.
One enemy
The
remaining.
lurk player has become Victor. And then think about how it swaps moving into Crew. Crew had some ideas, but it was essentially just came down to let's push on the defensive side. Looking quite shallow, probably just banking that they can get the upset on Ascent and Pearl, to be honest.
You need a bit more nuance to your game plan if you are going to be going up against NRG on one of their favored maps.
They're going to be able to get the pistol round here, presumably the follow-up, and it's going to look like a really close game. But when it came to the gun rounds, just losing 7 in a row on your defense side, Crew never had an answer. So not only do they need to keep it close, but to give them information into backside. And when he falls, everyone is so grouped up. Look at them, they've got 2 inside the smoke and 1 tucked at default.
Yeah.
They were not ready for NRG to go that quickly into backside. And that's Som continuing to control that area by finding a slim opportunity and a kill.
It's NRG that are sitting near the
30
bottom of the
seconds
standings. Not where we would have placed them.
I mean, just to reference the same interview I was talking about earlier, Artis was asked whether the sense of urgency has finally kicked in for them. And he said, it's already kicked in. It kicked in for that game. It's going to define a lot of the momentum heading forwards. And Finesse does a great job in this just to control Melza. If Melza gets him down as well, that round is just going the way of Crew.
Yeah.
2. That's 2 rounds in a row that he's got that. Here it is.
Ludicrous. I mean, he was just getting onto the line, I think, to flash through.
Yeah, I think the idea there is that Finesse is supposed to be trying to cross in order to get tucked behind the box so that they can run the trap play. You know, he just wants to get into that position, and instead he just took contact as he was walking over and smoked them.
Yeah, it's just backing away again. Going into the next layer of the hits, whether that's... I think that's the first time they actually re-hit B off of it. Normally they go to a different side, but...
We were talking earlier, Bren, about NRG losing advantage.
This map, one that was expected of them, anticipated. Dodging there off the fault line, moving forwards. The shot missed, Artis. He had his chance, he had his opportunity, and they've left Crashies forwards here. No one's going to clear in this. Well, I mean, Kens is just dashing forward. There was no smoke to hide his presence there, so he is dealt with, but it's an instant trade. Pushing forwards into the site, short has to be cleared out, and NRG, did they decide to flood in? The answer is yes, certainly. Dropping all the way down from the high ground position, flooding all the way through, and this could be it. Hook, line, sinker. Nags is the last one standing. It's a 1v2. Maybe he's made this a bit more winnable. Can he drag it? Can he find the isolated fights? A wider swing, a wider peak. He knows where one of them is, but he does not know that close corner is where Som is lurking for, and the timing is just that. 13 to 10, NRG eventually close it out. So Haven goes their way.
It got a little dangerous, Both pistols going the way of Crew. And it felt like Crew were about to mount a comeback at the end there, but a very nice timeout called. And NRG immediately came up with a good idea, just to flood out of heaven before Crew were set up in the post-plant positions, which they were a little slow out at the course of this map. And NRG closed it out. That one is absolutely necessary. I mean, at this point, it's a must-win match for